Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. As we think about our lives and all the individuals who have been influential to us, who has helped us to develop and grow, we can think of many. As I thought about this speech, speaking praise and honoring and praising someone, I thought about a multitude of individuals. Some of you are in this room today. But I decided to speak in praise about a different individual, none of those individuals that were on my list. That individual for me is, as Deborah mentioned, Yahweh, Christ, Lord, Father, whatever name you refer to him as. Throughout my life, there have been many challenges and circumstances and obstacles that cause me to sometimes feel like there's no hope, or where do I go from here? But this individual was always there for me. He would be comforting, having mercy, and providing that unconditional love that only he can provide. The one specific example that I want to share with you was my children, giving birth to my children. But I'm going to go with my daughter. First time I got pregnant, I shed tears of joy, but also tears of fear. Many of you can relate to the tears of joy with being pregnant. But tears of fear, why would I have fear of having a child? Because traditionally, all the females in my family on my mother's side, firstborn dies for whatever reason, no explanation. Whether it was throughout the pregnancy, I remember my grandmother telling me she got thrown by a bull and lost her child. My mother falling down the stairs, losing her first child. My eldest sister having a stillborn 9-pound baby. Everything was fine until the baby comes out. 9-pound, stillborn. So of course for me that fear was very real. I prayed, hoping and praying that everything will work out fine for me. 5 months, go for my doctor's visit. I was told that we needed genetic counseling because my test results, as well as the ultrasound that was done, showed that the baby was going to have spina bifida, as well as a multitude of other disabilities or disorders. I said no when the doctor said to me, I suggest that you have an abortion. I turned to my husband and we both said that's not going to happen. Whatever it is, if this is the plan, if this is God's plan, we will go with it and we will see what the outcome is. We continue to pray diligently and ask for mercy and ask for whatever it is for things to change and to allow us to trust and get that mercy and grace that only he can bestow. 36 weeks, I went into preterm labor. Of course, that fear comes back again, as it's been there throughout the pregnancy. What's going to happen now? 36 weeks, going into preterm labor. And as I lay there, I got to the hospital and I remember telling the doctors, no, I do not want any painkillers, because I was afraid that any drugs was going to cause further damage to what was already a situation that wasn't going to work out for me. Gave birth, the doctor took the baby, called my husband over to the side. He started crying. They whisked the baby out of the room. I started screaming and asking for my baby. No one paid me any mind as the mother. All I got was some medication to shut me up and put me to sleep. I woke up in a panic once the drugs wore off. Where's my baby? I want to see my baby. My husband was there. He got the nurse. They came. They brought me my child. I unwrapped her. You know, they have them swaddled nice and tight. 10 toes, 10 fingers, ears, nose, eyes, flipped her over. Spine was intact. Everything was good. And I said to my husband, what happened? He was crying. I thought something was wrong. He said, I was just crying because of the grace of God. We had a perfect baby girl. And to me, that meant the whole world. So as I sat there and I just continued to praise and honor and worship God, and just thanking him for having mercy and grace and giving us that unconditional love that we needed no matter what history has been or what circumstances has been. He has always been there for me. I know some of you learned about my experiences in the past with giving birth to a 28-week-old baby boy, but which wasn't supposed to happen either, after going through cervical cancer and then having a baby boy after that at 20 years old. So throughout my life, yes, many things to give praise and worship for, many individuals in my life who he placed in my life to help me to get through those circumstances. But at the end of the day, all praise, all honor can only belong to that one individual, Yahweh Christ, my Lord and Savior. Back to you, Mr. President.